What if I told you that finding your life's purpose was not nearly as hard as you might think it is? What if it's been right in front of you every day when you look in the mirror? Well, without getting any more cryptic and without having to lead you down some road where you feel like you need to solve a riddle, I'll just tell you right away in these first few seconds of this video. The purpose of your life is you. And I know that might seem way too oversimplified, but the interesting thing is that oftentimes the things that are the simplest are the ones that are true. Or if I could put it in a different way, truth is simple. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. It's not necessarily easy to understand, accept, or apply in your life. But the relative and basic concept of things that are true are usually simple. And then the human mind comes in and tries to complicate it and add a whole bunch of layers, because we've been told all of these stories about how things need to be hard, or that things are better when we have to work hard for them. Or my brother-in-law, who's a chef, always says, hunger is the best sauce, meaning that when you're really hungry, just about anything can taste good, or something that already tastes good tastes even better when you have built up that appetite for it. But what if your appetite for life has sort of waned? What if you're in a place in your life where you're not really sure what you're hungry for, and you can't figure out what you feel like eating? What if your whole life has become like that? What I've recently come back to was a quote that I found a long time ago in order to sort of help me rediscover my appetite for life, because the last few years have been hard, to say the least, and I think we all know. But for me to really, first of all, maybe that's how I can introduce myself. I'm Rocky. Nice to meet you, and welcome to my channel, a channel where I will be talking a lot about self-care, and including how sound healing and other modalities fit into the act of self-care, which is a form of self-love. And ultimately, the way that we get to know ourselves is by taking good care of ourselves and discovering what we really require in order to be in a space where we can truly feel cared for. And that caring has to start with us. It's not about finding that outside of ourselves. And so, because really it's our mission and our purpose in life is to discover how to care for ourselves. And when we are all cared for, when each and every person is cared for, then we can extend that same caring to other people. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If your basic level of needs is not fulfilled, food, water, clothing, and shelter, how can you then rise up to the higher levels and help others to do that? I used to be a flight attendant, and the one lesson I always say that I've taken from that job is that you must secure your own air mask before you help anybody else with theirs. And with that, I will read you this wonderful quote that I hope will help you to start asking the questions and doing the deep self-inquiry that can help you to truly find your purpose. And it goes like this. In the moment you took your first breath, all of humankind, all the people alive at that time, passed through that moment with you. Everyone did the best they could to make the moment joyful for themselves, but then the next moment came along and humankind had to handle it. And the next moment, and the next moment, onto the current moment. But the moment when you were born was stamped on the cellular level of your very being, and it remains a part of you. With that connection, you took charge of purifying that moment for everyone else on the planet, and you alone have the power to perfect the moment of your birth. It's as though you took that sliver of time and you slowed it down and stretched it out to last an entire incarnation. And as you began to work with that moment, taking parts of your wiring that aren't working too well and adjusting them, thus creating happiness, laughter, and joy in your own life. The positive energy of these changes affects everyone. Through your own personal life, you are essentially altering a moment that occurred in the past. And when you change the past, it changes the present for everyone. I've had many spiritual teachers say that the best we can do for ourselves is to work on ourselves. We are interconnected on the deepest level. We are one. And that quote comes from Jan Spiller. She's a renowned astrologer and author of a book called Astrology for the Soul. And even if you're not someone who's inclined to astrology, you don't necessarily believe in it, and the truth is, you don't need to believe in it. What really needs to believe, what I invite you to believe in, is yourself. Whatever that means, and however you choose to define it. Astrology is just a lens that you can look at yourself through. You can also look at yourself through the lens of so many other modalities, through your culture, through your race, through where you were born, through other modalities, Kabbalah, Christianity, whatever religion you may have been raised in. They're all just a lens in which we use to then gain more knowledge of ourselves. But really, how we actually gain more knowledge of ourselves is to pay attention and to ask questions. And when we pay attention, it's not about paying attention necessarily to everything around you, but paying attention to you and how you respond to the world around you, to your environment, to the people around you. And finding your true purpose in life can be discovered through every single thing you do. Purpose can be found in every moment, in every experience that you're having through your life. It can really come down to, how is this an invitation to be more myself, to be more me? And who is the real you? The real you is beingness. The real you is energy. The real you is infinite. And then as this infinite spiritual being, you came to this world to have a physical experience as a spiritual being. And whether you consider yourself spiritual or not, which you probably are if you actually clicked on this video and you've watched it till this far, really the invitation and the actual way to find your purpose is to pay attention to how you respond to everything around you. How do you respond when you're out here? If you've been out here in the wilderness of what to do with your life, have you met that with frustration and impatience and anger? Or could it be an opportunity for you to meet it with playfulness and with joy and with curiosity on how to really change what's around you? And how do we change what's around us? With intention. And our intentions start with our thoughts, start with our questions, start with our declarations, petitions, whether we write them down, say them out loud, and sometimes just thinking them is just enough without all the extra steps of manifesting and scripting and all of those things. And so I'd like for this to be an invitation to setting an intention for yourself, for the world around you, and for your consciousness to reveal to you how you'd like to experience and discover your true purpose. And that could be through work, it could be through travel, it could be through family, it could be through a romantic relationship, it could be through your relationship with your body, with food, with so many different things. But really what it comes down to is that you start to pay attention, ask questions, and then set the intention to let everything that arises in your awareness be an opportunity to recognize your purpose. And so that's what I leave you with, is to start asking those questions, start paying more attention, and we really start paying more attention by becoming more present in every single moment. And we become present in every moment by just pausing, taking a deep breath, and sensing what's all around us, what's happening right now, what's arising before you. And so I leave you with that invitation. And if that was enough to open your curiosity and you'd like to know more about how our purpose in life is laid out before us from the moment of our birth, and how we can perfect it, how we can purify it, and ultimately allow that to be the springboard for us to create a life of purpose and passion and create a life that you actually love, then start setting those intentions, and I'll dive deeper into how everything we've been through has been recorded in our physical bodies. And so the next video will talk all about our biofield and how the body keeps the score, and how, with that same intention, that same awareness, that same curiosity, you can change that score so that you can be on the winning end of life. Thanks so much for joining me for this video. My name's Rocky B, and I'll see you in the next video. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe if you have any questions. And again, I'll see you in the next video. Stay curious, stay on purpose, and find a way to be playful with it. Peace.